Before you pour that chemical drain cleaner down the sink, you're gonna need to watch this. We're sharing common sink clogs and how to mitigate them. I'm Erica.
And I'm Tim.
And we're Franzen Plumbing. First, let's talk about safety and why we shouldn't use any chemicals. Tim, what are the risks?
First and foremost is if there's old pipes, chemicals are not good for them. It could cause them to rot out, leak, especially if it doesn't do the job and it sits in the line, that's when it'll cause a bigger problem.
What other issues do you run into as a plumber when people do put chemicals down the drain?
So if it doesn't clear the problem and the chemicals do sit in the pipe and a plumber is needed and called out, it's very dangerous for that plumber because you'd have to go ahead and take apart the pipes and you're having a risk of getting it on your skin or in your eyes. It's very dangerous.
And if you do use harmful chemicals down the sink, then please let your technician know so they can make sure that they are arming themselves with the proper protective gear. So now let's look at the two most common clogs and how to fix them.
Food and grease, those are probably the most two common things that people would put down and is extremely horrible for the line.
I think the common misconception is that those things can go down your sink.
Correct,
because
yeah.
you have a garbage disposal or you think that's where you should dispose of it, but ultimately you should be putting that into the garbage can and disposing of it that way.
Correct, and grease will harden up just like it would if you poured it in the can. It'll harden up in the pipes and cause a clog. So let's say this did happen and you did pour something down. It is not the end of the world. It can be fixed. On hot water in the drain to make sure that it's flowing, it's usually accumulation over time that would need rotting or jet rotting to clean it out. Sometimes these are pretty complicated problems if the water's not going down. So what you should do would be call a plumber if the water's not going down, if you hear any gurgling, and do not run a dishwasher while you're waiting for your technician because that can also contribute to the problem because they all share the same drain line.
Yes. So let's talk about ways that you can prevent this in the first place.
As far as the garbage disposal, definitely take any food scrappings and put it in the garbage can. Anything that's left on the plate, that's okay to go down the drain. As far as grease, dispose the grease somewhere else in a can or a cup or anything. Avoid going down the drain.
Or give it to your dog.
Yes, that as well.
What should people, like homeowners, have at home, like under their sink?
A Franzen business card.
Oh my God, I love that. What else could they maybe keep under the kitchen sink if this does happen?
Well, they don't really have coffee cans anymore, but that's what a lot of people used to use.
Maybe just a metal can that you can, a container that you can keep underneath.
Correct, the metal can could always stay down there. It depends how much bacon you're cooking, you know. It will harden up and then you kind of just store the can underneath the sink. Next time you need it, you take it out and just keep adding to it.
So those are the most common clogs and how to mitigate them. But of course, if you need professional help, you can always call Franzen Plumbing.